Welcome to Trading Lounge and the indices. And just before we start, we've done some major upgrades to our AI. Not the this is the algorithm here, this particular program, but our AI program here. We've done some major upgrades to that, so we're just uploading that today. Those changes, so it's functioning. It's a huge improvement. But what I wanted to talk about was just to remind folks that now Malik is covering about 20 global indices here. So all of these indices over here are being covered now, just in a daily chart, that's all. But it can be quite helpful for that, okay? Okay, so with the S&P 500 and Elliott wave, we're looking at this whole structure moving up here, as you know. So we've got primary 1 and 2, and then up for wave 3 here. We're looking for 5 waves between 2 and 3 here, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And then we're looking for 5 waves in this intermediate wave 5 here. So I need to go in and talk about that. There's 2 ways to count this move to the upside, but the main takeaway is not to get lost in the details. The main point is that we are moving higher, and if you're trading stock and those sorts of things, in not so much in swing trading, but in trend trading, you just need to hold. It's that sort of simple. But swing trading, obviously, you're ducking and diving and weaving and doing all sorts of fancy tricks. So that takes another skill set. And but let's just sort of dive in here. But this is the bigger picture, so no change. We just need to focus in here. So I need to just explain the 2 possible ways that we can move to the upside. So primary 1, primary 2 over here, all the way up for wave 3 and then wave 4 here. So in moving up here, this will be a little bit sort of complicated to get your head around, but we're going to break it down and get into it and look at it in various ways with different products, meaning NASDAQ, SPY, QQQ, and so on. So there is the case of having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here for wave 1 and then putting wave 2 in here. And if that is the case, then this move up here will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for wave 1 up here and pulling back for wave 2. Okay, and that will play out if we let's just put this in here for a moment. When we come back for an ABC for wave 2 here, then we can trade long above that top there. If this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here and move up here further, then this will come back to this area here. But if this is all of this is 1, 2, 3 and 4 here and 5 up here, then we're going to have a deeper correction coming back here. Probably not much deeper really, but something in here. So there's 2 ways to do it. But what we'll have is we'll have a top, we'll have the second high here to trade long on. But you should be long already on this, so that shouldn't be a bit of a drama. So we're going to be sort of talking about this area here today. This is our focus for the S&P, the SPY, the NASDAQ, and the QQQ. Okay, so we're just going to go into the 1000 area here and just pick it up in this particular section here. So we need to understand it in 2 ways. So we've got wave 3 over here and wave 4 here, and then we would look for 5 waves to go to the upside. So we've got wave 1 and 2, and we're going up here for 3, 4, and 5 up here to make that top. Okay, and if we treat this as wave 3 and 4 here, then we would look at this as wave 5 top here of wave 5 of 5, and then this would be wave 1 here, so 4, 5 of 1 here. And if that was the case, then we would have a correction that would come down deep into this area here as support. So we would see something come down at like this here. Maybe the employment figures could bring it down, so on, but it may give the opposite, so don't be mindful of that. So we could put this here as an ABC here. So this is quite a big correction here, right? Now one thing would have as traders, we would have just assuming you're not in already, but would have that top there, and then we can come down to this top. And if we were down here anyway, we would be looking for the first little impulse wave to the upside here. 5 waves up, let's just put it here, some sort of ABC pattern, and then we could move in from this point over here. Now, we could also use the first little 5 waves here as well to move into and get another position here. The idea is to build into this third wave over here. Now, we need to be a little bit mindful. Let's just assume for a moment that we already have wave 1 in here. Now, I won't go into the reasons of why this could be a wave 3 or wave 1, because it basically ties back into tech stocks. And I just won't go there at the moment in this video. So if we view this as wave 1 and wave 2 here, for example, and you can clearly see that we've got our 5 waves moving up here. We can see we've got 1 and 2. So we're definitely in somewhere in the third wave here, isn't it? You know, where we don't have that top in yet. We can't see the top. And we definitely don't have the wave 4 in here because it hasn't really broken out of this trend channel here just yet, you know. So we've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here somewhere up here. And instead of calling it wave 1 this time, we'll give it this smaller degree wave 1 over here. I'll just change these over here. So we'll put that there, and then we'll put this here. So wave 5 here of 1. And in that case, what we could do is we could say, well, if that was the case, then we would end up coming back 50, 60% in that. Well, really, it could be anywhere from 40 down to 68. It could be anywhere in here. But this particular number here starts to see the old highs here where the support would be. And when markets do move up, they kind of like to come back and test each other, you know. So if a market moves up here and makes a new high here, it likes to come back and test this this demand period over here point. So having this top here and having this as resistance here from the supply of this top, we could assume that all of this here would be the area that would need to be tested at that point. So if that was the case, then this wave 1 up here, this would come down as an A wave somewhere down into, because see this wave 4 that hasn't occurred here yet, what's going to happen here is we're going to see some consolidation in this area here, which is actually going to become the support later on for this one over here. So when this comes down, all this consolidation will be the support here. So we'll see a B wave and then a C wave down here, and then we're going to move up again. And this is going to move quite quickly, because if this is correct, if this is a wave 2 and this is a wave 2, so that means we're in the third of the third at this point, and this move up here will also be another little wave 1 here to move up here again. So that's going to be quite powerful at this particular point, but this B wave top here is the one that we want to get into here. So in a way, at the 5-4 here, if we're going to see wave 2 here, is going to give us a classic trading levels pattern across that level. So what I'm saying here is this would be wave 1 and 2 here, and then this would be wave 1 with an ABC for wave 2 here. We can go along above the top, we can come down to here, and then we'll also have the first little wave over here. In this case, this is going to be the third of the third here, of the third. So this is where it's going to really sort of push quite quickly over here. So you need to be aware and prepared for this situation. Now, if you get confused, and rightly so after this sort of this particular drawing here, then your best bet is to have a very small position and have wide stops at that point. But the first steps, there's steps to all of this. This 5 waves up here, just allow it to top, let it drop, and when it drops, then you're left with that top there. That's where you can go along. So if anything happens, if it drops back below the 4, then you know that you're left with that top there. So that top becomes significant at that point, so you don't need to sort of panic. And then all you need to do is wait for the second high. So in fact, all of this over here, all this confusion that I've done, we could probably just draw it over here. So we could say that this wave 2 here is this deep wave 2 here. We could say that this wave 1 here that we're looking at, the wave 2 here, right, is this one here. and then this little one that I was talking about over here can be this one here. So in a way, it's just really about waiting for that top or waiting for the drop. So that's not going to be too difficult. And then you could drop it down to this one, and then you could drop it down to this one, and you could sort of, your skill set could get in there even closer. But that's what you need to do. If you come down from the top, the market's actually proving to you that it's strong by making new highs. If you try to buy the bottoms, you can get yourself into trouble if you don't know what you're doing. Anyway, that's my Strelitzky Picasso drawing there for the S&P, and this is pretty much going to be the same for the other market. So this is the SPY here. I could look at this as wave 3 and 4 here. I could look at it as 1 and 2. If it is 1 and 2, then the move up here, let me just draw this out here, will be 3, 4, 5 here for this, and then this here, and then the A, the B, and the C wave here for this wave 2 here, and then up again at this point. If this is going to be wave 1 up here for this, yeah, I don't need, already got that there. Confusing myself, no wonder you don't understand. So yeah, we either come down here further and then go up at this point, or we get there. But once again, it's the same story as well. You wait for the top to come in, and then you keep bringing it down. And the thing is, if it doesn't come back up here, then it's going to come down here. We have to rework it over here. So in the meantime, yeah, we've got employment figures coming out. Oh no, that's on Friday, isn't it? Thursday today. So yes. So that's where we are really for the SPY and the NASDAQ. This is a weekly chart for the NASDAQ, and we can have a look at the same thing from this wave 4 to this wave 5 here. We're looking for 5 waves moving up. We may have wave 1 and 2 in here already, or we may not. So from the weekly chart here, I think I've got it on the daily. We talked about this in the stocks video this morning. So yeah, same here. So we could have this up for wave 1 and back for wave 2. If that is the case, then this blue wave 1 up here and blue wave 2 would pull back, and this little move up here so far, you can clearly see that it's wave 1 and 2, and in the third wave we haven't seen the fourth or the fifth yet here to get that wave 1 here, right? And so this wave 2 would pull back shorter. If this is the case where we've got this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here, then this will be the wave 1 here, and then this will be the wave 2 pulling back further at this point. So it's the same. We can have a look at both of these counts. I'm going to do it on the 20k and then the 10k. So in this instance here, this is looking at the situation with wave 1 here and wave 2 over here, and then we come up here with wave 1 and 2, and then we'll have 3, 4, 5 up here for blue 1, and then an ABC back for blue 2 here. So you start from the top and you come down here. There will be so you won't know which wave 1 this is at this point. So the other one here will be seeing another move back up here. And if you're coming back up here, don't use this high here. Wait for a new high here, right? Because this little pattern in here will produce this, the same pattern over here will produce this one here again. So don't use that one. Use the new one here, and then also in using the new one here, you'll get this little sort of ABC pattern here, and you can drop it down here, and then you could say to yourself, oh shit, if I've got 5 waves here, that means if I get 5 waves in the opposite direction of the previous trend, then I'm going to go up again. So I could actually buy the 50-60% retracement level area here. I could do that, But Pete said don't buy on the low, just wait. So I could, if I'm here and I'm doing nothing, just fiddling my thumb, so I could wait for the first little move in here and wait for the little ABC to come back in here, and then move up and go on this one, build a position in here, and then build on here. And then also, because this is the 1900 area here, we could just give that a bit more definition here, and then we could look for, because the idea is you've got 1, 2, and 3 here, then 5, and then the 8, the Fibonacci numbers, and then group 2 in here, the 65, the 650, and the 72, and yada yada yada. So the idea is to build in here in group 1 as much as you can expose yourself, and the idea is to get the number 3 here as the tested. So that's why I put this here, because it won't become the support here. It will try to get support, but it'll fail, and it'll come back and test the old highs. So over here, you're looking for, once again, you're looking for this pattern. If you get this pattern here at the number 3, the top of group 1 here, then you're going to be leaving the 1900 at that point. You're going to be sucked up to the 20, and this is why you build in 3 or 4 positions here, because you'll end up here. There'll be problems at the 5 here and the 8 and all the normal sort of stuff, you know, but this is it. But we don't know if this is going to be 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 yet. The other side of the coin here, looking at it differently, is this one here where we have a deeper pullback at the 19 here. So we've got 1 and 2 and 3. I haven't got that there yet, and this will go up here further. And anyway, not to worry too much about it, but wave 4 and wave 5 up here. So you have to wait for the top, and you got group 1 here, of course, and so this will pull back deeper at this point. So in this little move that comes down here, this will be in 5 waves. It'll be a 5, 3, 5 structure here. But the thing is that when you don't know what you're doing, because it hasn't really happened yet, you'll get wave 1 and 2 here, sharp wave 2 coming back, and then you'll get this one down here. Now at this point, you won't know if this is this count or the other count, you know, but you'll have that top there to go along on, and then you'll have your second high here. But this may just come back up here and turn into 5 waves. So this first leg here will be 5 waves, and then 3 waves, and then 5 waves down here. But you'll still be left with the same 2 tops here. Do you know what I mean? So you'll keep safe. You'll either take these trades, or the market will come back down here, and you'll go, okay, well, it's down here. I'm not going to go short. I'm not going to get involved in it here. I'm not going to get involved in it here. I have to wait for the first impulse wave to the upside, and then you take it from that point. So it's just about taking the next logical step, you know. So I know it's easier said than done, but once you get into the swing of it, it becomes a little bit easier. So this is just the triple Q here with the same thing, 3 and 1 here, and 4 and 2 here, and we'll need this here and this here and this here and this here, and then there'll be this and there'll be this. So you won't know if it's which way one it is, but just as I mentioned, then you'll have this top and you'll have this top. If they don't get, if they don't get triggered in with a move up, it's not that it's not that we're all wrong. It's just that we're just trying to get on the winning side. That's all. I mean, don't think about it as like unsuccessful, or don't consider yourself. I mean, all the markets are emotional. You don't need to be emotional about it. This is just like washing the dishes, looking for trade setups. It's that boring. You can be thinking of other things. Triple Q. So that was just the 50 tick. This is a triple Q here, but the same thing again as well here. It's all same. Okay, so I won't bore you to death with that. We'll go over to the Russell. So the Russell is a little bit tricky. I would have liked to put wave C of 2 down here because it just nipped out the bottom here, but I don't have 5 waves down here. I have 3 waves down here. So I'm thinking that we could actually get a C wave up here, and then this move here, and then this. So a little bit sort of unfortunate. I could look at this as 5 waves, but an A and a B and a C here. I'm just not quite sure about it. I mean, it does look like a wonky old wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for the A wave, an A and a B. I'm not quite sure. We're going to have to wait. But once we got that 5 waves up here, we'll look at this on Friday. Then we could take that top there and go. If that was the case, if it was going to come as wave 1 and 2 and go up at that point. But otherwise, we still have to wait further. I know we've waited a long time, but we've done all the right things at the right time, and we need to continue with our patience on this. And we'll come over to the European markets, and this is the DAX. It's on a daily chart here. And, I just still kind of want to label this wave 4 here because I just don't see the 5th wave. I could sort of bottle this up into this little space here. It could be doable at that point, and put wave 1 here and 2 here. That could be possible. So if that is the case, we need to do the same thing that we're doing with what we're doing with the other market. So it could be wave 4, or we go up for wave 1. So what it's going to do here is it's going to produce a high here somewhere. And that high here is where we can go long on across the top here. That wasn't very accurate, but yeah, because we still need to get, you know, from this wave 2 here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It's a little bit short to put this wave 5 here, and we're looking at other we have to go higher, so we don't have to worry about that too much at this point. But I don't know the best way to look at this. You know, I think this is probably the right way, but it's such a big wave 4 here, but I think we've got to stay with it. It's not like it's done any damage. So this is wave 1 here, these tops here. We haven't overlapped it. Do you know what I mean? And it's it's big and ugly, and you know that's what a wave 4 can be. It's just a little bit too big, and I could view it in other ways. But also too, as a wave, if I put this here as a wave 1 and 2 here, it doesn't really, you know, it's kind of doesn't look like a wave 2. Do you know what I mean? It looks more like a wave 4. So we've got the same sort of situation here. We'll we'll push up. But we just need to be a little bit careful about this. It's just messy and just a bit unfortunate, but it should follow the S&P. So wave 3 up here, all the way down for wave 4, which would be, I have to redo this, but basically an A, B, C here for the A wave, a B wave here, and I did notice it was at the high here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I missed that, a bit stupid, but it's hard to be perfect. So we've got this move up here, so I think it might move along quite quickly, 1 and 2. We've got a little 5 waves in here for 1 and 2, and the 3 here, and the 4 and 5. So we could sort of be in that sort of timing area there. So what it's going to leave us with just above the 1900 here somewhere is it's going to create a top. Now it could be above the 1900, it might be, you know, same, I don't know. But I can say that you can be long at the moment, but I don't know how far we're going to pull back. You know, that's the thing. It's you know, do we look at this as wave 1 and wave 2 to come back here? So we'll just pick it up tomorrow. We'll just see where we are with it, you know. Yeah, so that's where we are for the DAX. It's the same sort of story here, really. But I mean, the takeaway here is that this pattern from here down to here is corrective. We will be taking that high out. So if that's any good to you, then that's okay. And also in a way too, this will be at the 1900 here. This will be a classic trading levels pattern. So in a way, it'll be this is the arrival here, the reaction here, the first high above the level here, and then some sort of ABC pattern here, and then going up and pushing up into that 20 up here. So what we're going to try to do is try to get over this side. I mean, you can trade up here, but we need to sort of be over here, and how we get there, I'm not quite sure just yet on this. And then we come over to the FTSE. So the daily chart here, we've got wave 2 here with 1, 2, 3, 4 here, and going up to wave 5 of 3. This would put it in the same timing as the other markets. I'm just not quite sure if we actually can view this as a little wave 1 and 2 in here, and then 3, 4, and 5 in here, and then some larger ABC for 4, and then up here. So this is a little bit tricky in here as well, but we will go in there, and we need to talk about it a little bit, and that will be on the 1000 ticks. So that's the top of wave 3. I've had a look at this here. I can count this down in 5 waves. I could also view it as an A and a B and a C, so not very helpful actually. This little move here, we can squeeze 5 waves out of it, so it's okay. But my problem here is this move here, because this is quite clear that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and then we've got this A, B, C pattern here. I mean, it could be up for 1, back for 2, up for 1, back for 2 type of thing. But based on this 5 waves here, I would assume that we are looking at a smaller A wave here, B wave here, and a C wave up here at the 50-60% retracement level here. So I was thinking a couple of things here is that, I'll just take that up there. I was thinking that we could look at this as the A wave here, the B wave here, and the C wave here. Now, what about if I'm wrong and we go straight up from this point? Well, we got this high here, and this is also at the 50-60% of the last drop here, so we can go high above there. So the second thing that we could do, if I could just make this a little bit clearer over here, coming back up to this, 50-60%, 300 area here. Let's just say we got a high here and then the market pulled back here. Well, then we can bring this down to this point. And if the market was going to go down here, then it's not a problem. But if the market was going to give some sort of ABC pattern here and then go up, well, then we'll get triggered in long. So I think all we need to do here is nothing. I'm going to put this back over here, and then tomorrow we'll look at it and we'll see where it is, and then we can come down here. So it's basically, it's been a process of really actually, what we're talking about here is what we did over here. We can start with this, and then we can come over to here, and then we can come over to here for this to get triggered in. So we're getting there, but we're not there yet, that's all. I mean, if you can see a way forward, that's safe, then we can move, because the other thing, if I'm wrong with wave 4 here, this could actually, come down here further for this wave 4. But the reason I don't like doing that for is because it will put it out of timing with the rest of the world, So looking at this as wave 1 puts it in the right timing with the world. I would like to put this here as wave 2 here, but I just don't have enough evidence, I mean, it could be something, but can't see it at this point. I mean, I could probably go an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here, and then 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here. It doesn't even make a nice 2 here. So and that should probably be a W here anyway. But, I mean, anyway, we're just not quite there yet with this. So we're just a little bit more patience with this one. And then we come over to the Australian market. And first of all, I'll just clean this up. But we had a trade here. We had a stop in there rather than we were taking profit there. So we're out of that trade now because I thought this move up here could be a B wave. I don't think it's the case. So in this case here, this is a little bit wonky and weird, but wave 4 here, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for 1. And then this is quite a nice ABC. I've always liked it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the A wave, the B wave and the C wave. I mean, it's sharp, hit our target, and it's got a 5, 3, 5 structure. So all really good. So basically I've ballsed it up over here. Because I was kind of pulling it in with the rest of the world and whatnot, but so probably got to remove this here, and then we're going to have to build this to the upside here. How to build it up here, I'm not quite sure yet. I was sort of thinking, if anybody's got any ideas, can they put that in the chat area? But I was sort of thinking something like this here, Not really going to do it for me at this point. I think we've got to build it up even further than that. But what I was sort of thinking tomorrow, not today's Thursday, and it could edge higher. But what I was thinking to do to see if we could get in on the Friday somewhere. So I don't even think that's correct there actually. So I'll just move these to the side for a second. I'm going to look for a trade here on the Friday, see what it looks like a bit more at this stage. It's going to come up and hit this supply here, and then pull back. So I'm kind of thinking that we'll push up here a bit higher, and then it's going to come back, and then we need to sort of be in over here. But looking at, if I look at, sorry for taking so long, but if I look at the CommBank here, for example, we were looking at this the other day in terms of I was looking at this here as 3 and 4 here, which is the same as the S&P and stuff, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 up here for wave 1. Now this would be the same thing I was talking about the S&P with here. If I was wrong, I'll look at this as being wave 1 up here, right? And then pulling back for wave 2. But basically, the situation as it stands is once we do have this move up here that's been traveling up here, the ASX, and its stocks is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here, or 1, 2, 3, 4 up here. 4's about the average, 7 is quite a lot, 9 is exceptional when you get 9 days in a row that the top or bottom hasn't been taken out. I know that from the robo trading, but basically we're waiting for this to top here somewhere and then come back here. So this will be, it'll either come deep, it'll come back to this wave 2, or we're going to come back to this wave 2 in here. But even so, we'll take this top here, so we'll keep an eye on this, and we'll take the second top here. So that's where we are at the moment with this. So this is kind of fitting in, you know, because the ASX is dominated by this here, and this is all about this level here. So we can see that it was the resistance, and then it's pushed through here. It's going to come back and test it. When it comes back and tests it, then we can find our way in here, because I don't know if it's this wave 1 or this wave 1 at this point. I'll just have a look at the mining for a second. Let's have a look at Rio, because I know. Okay, so that's just, sorry to clean my mess up here. So this was the same sort of thing here, you know. We can start from the top. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So it looks like we're going to come down, back up. It's not going to go that high. Just took that top out a little bit there, didn't it? Yeah, just. But this is a CFD provider, and they're likely to do that sort of stuff. I haven't really been monitoring this thing, so I won't worry about that. I can see the stochastics here want to pull back, but I'm just what I'm trying to do here is that I'm trying to just figure out if the mining and the banking sector are going to be working together. I mean, they don't often do that, but they if they do, then the market really sort of pulls along quite quickly, you know. Okay, we'll just keep an eye on that. But we've got that top there to work now. We just need to work the second high here, and this definitely looks like 5 waves down here, so we'll have to be a bit careful. So anyway, that could sort of come in and help support the ASX a little bit. I'll have a look at some of the others a bit later. Alrighty, sorry for such a long video. I'll leave it at that. Cheers.